What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the Raider X podcast. I'm just going to dive into it and cover the last two games. I know I missed last week. I had some issues with my computer. Everything's set now, so you'll be hearing a lot more of these. I'm going to try to do it every week. Hopefully it works out. Let's go. Alright, so first I'm going to cover the Carolina Panthers game. It was the first game of the season. I expected a lot of rust. I did not expect the offense to come out and be just as explosive as they were. First pass of the game was a huge pass. Super long throw. Didn't get the completion, but it set the tone for the game. It made the defense aware that the offense was completely different than what they saw last season and seasons before. It made them pull from putting 8 men in the box the whole game. So they had to be aware of that deep threat. Super solid game plan by Jon Gruden. Came in, got us the win, 34-30. I'm excited about it. Now, when you look at how Derek Carr played, he had a solid game. Wasn't a great game. Definitely wasn't a trash game. Just solid all the way around. 1 touchdown, no interceptions, no fumbles. Not a lot of penalties by our team at all. But his 1 passing touchdown was an absolute thing of beauty. It was art being personified. Honestly, it was exciting to watch. Like, when you see this pass, I'm going to play the video for you here in a second. When you look at this pass, he threw it to the only spot where only the wide receiver could get to it, and the defender would have had absolutely no chance. It's just a thing of beauty. Just let's watch.
Just going to pick on the rookie, Troy Pride. That's what you want to find.
And there it is. One of the most beautiful passes you will see through week 1. Overall, not just from Derek Carr, but from any quarterback in the league. That was a perfect pass. On target, in the breadbasket, however you want to say it. It was absolutely beautiful. Had me excited all game. Another thing that had me excited all game was Josh Jacobs and the monster game that he had. The guy had 3 rushing touchdowns, rushed for over 100 yards, had like 47 yards receiving. The guy can do everything in the book. He could run any route in the book. He can do it all. I'm going to show a clip. It's going to be one of the receiving plays that he had where he just absolutely dominated. He actually jumped over another player. Super exciting to watch. The guy's got great hands, great elusiveness, great speed. Just overall, he's one of the best running backs in the league. He should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. We're not going to get into that because that's a sore subject for me. But I'm excited to see what he does for the rest of the year. He's going to be a top 5 rushing leader in the league. Guaranteed. You heard it here first.
He's working on the linebacker, Shaq Thompson. He just leaves him in the dust. Really nice patience, a good route. He's working on the linebacker, Shaq Thompson. He just leaves him in the dust. Really nice patience, a good route. And that's an area where he can really improve from a season ago. He was predominantly a runner last year for the Raiders, but they're trying to get 2nd and 4.
Alright, so that was probably my most favorite play of the entire game. Definitely my favorite play to watch out of this entire 2 weeks so far that the NFL's been going on. I don't know why, but it just had me fired up through the entire thing. I loved it though. He got to show off his elusiveness, his power, his speed, and his catching ability, which he did not get a lot of last season. So I'm super, super excited for him. He told everybody before the season started that he wanted to be to get like 60 receptions this year, which is insane because I think he only caught like 20 last year, maybe 21. So I'm just super excited for him. I want to talk about the offensive line though, because even with starting right tackle Trent Brown going down 3 plays into the game with a calf injury, which I'm not happy about. We could talk about him a little later, or not. But you had him go down early. Then you had backup tackle Sam Young come in, filled in pretty nicely for him for a few drives, and then he got injured as well. But after him, Denzel Good, the backup guard, came in and absolutely just mauled their defensive line. It's crazy to see that a backup guard came in, filled in at right tackle, and had an outstanding game. Like, it hardly ever happens where they move a guard to the tackle position and they don't allow sacks, they don't allow tackles for loss, they don't get ran over, because it's a whole different shift to their playing style. But man, just the offensive line as a whole, even with those two, with the starter and the backup out, they brought in the third stringer and did not miss a beat at all. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hyped. Seeing that our O-line can play like that, even without some of the starters, was a magnificent thing to see. It just proves that we have a lot of depth and the game plan is super solid. And I'll be the first to say it, I was not a fan of Tom Cable coming in as our offensive line coach. I didn't think he had what it took. But I'll be the first to admit it right now. I am sorry for all the shit I talked on him. Because he came in and absolutely just turned this offensive line around. They're playing to their strengths. They're playing to their size. And they're playing to their full capability. Even with backups. And I am super excited to see how the rest of this season goes with them. Next up, we're going to talk about the Raiders versus the Saints. First home game in our brand new stadium. Our beautiful new home. New city. The team looks rejuvenated. This game was definitely a statement game for us. Showed the rest of the league that we're not going to just back down anymore. That we're going to play all the way through. First quarter, everybody got online and was just talking all sorts of stuff about how we're trash again. And I don't understand it. It was literally just the first quarter. Things happen. Defense didn't play very well in the first quarter, but they finally started coming into their own after the second quarter, about halfway through the second quarter. And then the offense just absolutely took off and just skyrocketed. I'm excited. This game was definitely a huge momentum shift for us. We came off the win last week in Carolina. Now we're coming off the win this week against New Orleans, where Derek Carr absolutely outplayed Drew Brees. Darren Waller came in, tight end, just absolutely stole the entire show. The first game was all about Jacobs. This game was all about Waller. Waller can do everything. He can catch out of the backfield. He can catch out of the slot. He can catch out wide. And he can catch in his natural tight end position. He came in, just annihilated their linebackers, their corners, their safeties. Pretty much anybody they put against him, he just was running right through them. He was able to do his thing. Had over 100 yards. Had a touchdown. Had like 12 receptions. Which, with the offensive line and the depth that we have, and the way the offensive line worked on Monday, I was kind of surprised, considering we saw Richie Incognito go down with his Achilles injury. But John Simpson came in, and he honestly played super well for a rookie who's never played a snap in the NFL. He gave up, I think, 5 pressures throughout the game, which obviously isn't that great. But when you look at what he had to deal with, the adversity he had to go through, I mean, no preseason, no real off season, no real training camp. He kind of was just thrown into the fire. He even said when Richie Incognito told him, hey, you better get ready and go in, he laughed, thought it was joking, and then he had to kind of calm himself, collect himself, and then go in and just absolutely play. So the O-line played solid. Yeah, there were 3 sacks, but I mean, we had a backup guard at right tackle and a backup guard at left guard. So, you know, little mistakes like that are going to happen. We still got the win. Derek Carr played amazing under pressure. And I don't know about you, but to me, this game was absolutely electrifying. I wish like hell I would have got to watch it when it was live. I had to come home and watch it after work. Kind of pissed me off, but it is what it is. So, with that said, the team looks super solid this year. Put the league on notice if you want to say that. I'm looking forward to the game against New England. I feel like we have a better offensive line than they do, a better offense in general than they do, but their defense is going to be tough. Their defense is going to be tough. Alright, so I'm going to show this touchdown pass from Carr to Waller. It's the only touchdown pass that Waller caught in the game, but it was something beautiful about it. He was just absolutely wide open in the end zone. I don't know if it was a breakdown in coverage or if he's just that good and got out and was able to get free from the defenders. But whatever happened, he was absolutely wide open. Derek Carr played well under the pressure. He rolled out to the right, which he doesn't do very often, is get out of the pocket. So he did a very good job at that. Now, I'm just going to play this. I want you guys to watch it. Just listen. It's super fun to watch.
That's his tremendous play call. What you're going to see him do right here, you're going to see him just kind of slam, release, and then leak out into the route. You can see he's actually going to block and then just sneak out. And what happens is everything happens so fast down there that as soon as a blocker engages you as a defender, you think it's run. So I'm looking for the football, and then he just slips you and sneaks out it.
Make a catch.
So there's the play. That play absolutely had me just jacked up. I was super excited. I actually got to watch this play when I was on my break at work, so I was super happy about that. But I came back into work. I'm all hyped up. People are like, "Oh, what happened?" And I'm like, "Raiders." That's all I said was just Raiders. Everybody looked at me and was like, "That's some weird shit," but all right. And I don't know. It was one of those things where like I was just super hyped to see it. We got the lead. We were ahead. I knew at that point we were going to end up winning the game. Something just felt different about it. So, with all that said, as Al Davis would say,
just win, baby.